true killers.
No, not at all. That's the thing. Like Suyo can do a respectable job, Hari, once he has that holy crystal. But otherwise, Glue is going to run over Homeboys in the early game. They just literally have no solution for it. If they had a bit more burst in the mid lane and a setup in the roam, then sure. But they do not. Valentina needs items, Khalid is more damaged than utilities, so EVOS, I think they've won this draft. I do really like the lineup that they're playing here.
Looking a lot more solid. A big discrepancy between the drafts in game 1. Of course, Homeboys on the blue side again. We have EVOS Holy on red side for this game number 2. Again, EVOS Holy continuing to show us that they have this solution planned out from the very beginning, right? Even the drafting wise, they were basically very active in the way they draft instead of just constantly responding to what Homeboys have.
Honestly, I'm disappointed in myself for not reading that Glue pick. There's a Phobius right there. They not only banned the Faramis, but they picked the Vexana so that Homeboys couldn't grab it blind. Like, it speaks Glue all over the place. Like, man, the fact that Homeboys didn't read it must be kind of disappointing to them as well. Like, this is actually such a good final pick hero.
It's also one of the few. It's the advantage of red side, but something that you don't actively think about much, right? Like sometimes it just slips your mind. Although I would say that they force out the flicker from Deposit. That's again good for Homeboys. They've done it in game 1 where they start forcing out early battle spells, but we are seeing Reggie. He's just walking around the map. And for Gorgeous to keep up, like that is a luxury provided. But when it comes to fighting, you just stand no chance.
Yeah, just straight up, like Gorgeous can't even win lane against Reggie. In the previous game, Gorgeous was straight up winning lane, unlocking himself, joining teamfights very early on. This game will be the complete opposite, right? This Glue is gonna be able to match him and even overpower him in a lot of different situations. Looking at the emblems, I'm not seeing anything too out of the ordinary. Looks like Erlan is sticking with that Impure Rage. Why not? Worked very well for him previously. Homeboys, I already feel like doesn't have the best synergy to play around either. I personally don't actually like Khalid roam all that much. Like unless you're gonna be able to invade and instantly mess with the jungle at level 1. Yeah.
See the flicker from Gorgeous to isolate Reggie, who is in the split. Planning can expire, so he uses his own flicker. Meanwhile, on the other end, Escalera is going to be terrified. First blood going over to Deposit. As of course, Reggie, he is still extremely healthy. Gorgeous wants to chase for Albert, doesn't find it. Aimar will get the turtle, but Gorgeous might have to surrender himself. Jumps over Deposit with the Infernal Pursuit. The shield is sufficient. Reggie finally goes down to Aimar, and Izanami hits the backline with his Shadow Strike. The dash is enough, has the stolen kick, but Ivan flickers over to get rid of Aimar. So it's 3-4-2 in favor of EVOS Holy, but turtle for Homeboys.
Personally, if you ask me, if I was Gorgeous in that situation, I would be kind of disappointed that my team didn't get at least one more kill there. Gorgeous survived so long! 1v3 there. And unfortunately, Aimar just didn't quite have the cooldowns needed to finish off Albert. Otherwise, that would have actually been very worth it, since they did actually get the turtle as well. Gorgeous showing us that he's making good use of the tips that Crab has been sharing to him, but the rest of Homeboy still having some difficulty. And in that previous engagement, I think my reasonings for not liking Khalid very much are being shown. I just really don't think that he contributes much to the game outside of the first 2 levels.
Yeah. So with that, and also unless you land these big sets, it does feel like you are always just hovering around. I'll say Gorgeous, because of that early fight, he cashed in 2 assists, right? He's now a level ahead of Reggie, and he just straight up, he just beat Reggie in lane. He forced the recall from the Glue, which you don't see normally.
I have so much praise for Gorgeous right now, but Ivan in some trouble.
It's gonna be pulled back again, slammed down by Gorgeous, who picks up the kill. I mean, Gorgeous is single-handedly defying that lane matchup with this Phobius.
Yeah, that is exactly what is happening. I'd even go as far as he's kind of solo carrying the early game a little bit for the Homeboys right now. I'm actually very impressed because this Glue should be winning against him under any other circumstance. So that actually gives Homeboys a little bit of breathing room, right? If they're able to continue setting up for turtles, providing vision over on the enemy side of the map, Like, the same way that HOMEBOIS doesn't have a lot of early burst, EVOS doesn't actually have it either. So they're pretty well matched in that regard.
And Ivan, he's gonna get terrified, and again, Gojaz just slams down on him as Amao secures the second turtle of the game. Escalera with the raging stance on, trying to look for Albert, misses the target. The Ogi Shadow Kill takes him down. Erlan finally joins the fight. Albert gets taken out by Amao, and Gojaz now finally isolated, just get knocked up to oblivion. Erlan walks all the way for the kill.
I'm kind of did Erlan shove the wave out? I'm gonna need to check the VOD again to see exactly why Erlan reached the fight so much sooner than Soul. I'm just gonna assume that Soul had to deal with a wave being pushed up. This Granger genuinely is a power pick for EVO's Holy right now, it seems, because Erlan went like no deaths in game 1 as well. Now he's already racking up kills quite early. I think he already has the Sky Piercer, if I didn't see incorrectly. Yeah, okay, I didn't see incorrectly. Thank you to the people that brought that up for me. HOMEBOIS started the fight pretty well, but it's still messy if they're not able to split up EVOS initially.
Really putting a lot of weight on Gojaz's back. At least it opens up space for Amao to kind of access the back line, but again, there are limitations, right? When it comes to these long drawn out fights, obviously you are looking at Reggie and Erlan to be able to kind of dish out a lot more damage while abilities are on cooldown for the HOMEBOIS.
Yeah, I still don't really like Kalidro. I know a lot of people are going to say, but Kalidro is so good, but Escalera now is dead, so you know.
Yeah, it further proves your point, for sure. Now the third turtle is coming up, no way HOMEBOIS are getting that one.
Like Cho offers you so much vision, so much map. You need a hero that's able to match that. Even if you're not able to match mobility, you want to match utility. I don't think Khalid really does that. If they wanted to, hold on.
Yeah, another fight breaks out. Gojaz is getting stuck on by Reggie. This time, Reggie Sandstorm only hitting onto one is onto Reggie, who really doesn't care. But Depozet's gonna get run down as Albert takes the turtle away. Ivan will also fall. The 2 for nil trade so far. Reggie getting chased down by So. Escalera wants the kill, ends up going too far forward and falling to EVO's Holy.
All things considered, that actually wasn't too bad for the HOMEBOIS. Now that Soul was like that, it happened near the gold lane. Soul was able to join the fight right from the beginning. Was actually able to chase down Deposit, who was left in a bit of an awkward spot right in between the enemy team. And yeah, that really is the difference that HOMEBOIS needed. They need that burst damage. Soul doesn't quite have his power spike yet. I highly doubt he has Holy Crystal at this point, but it's still enough. Just that extra little bit of burst alongside Amao to supplement everything else. I don't know why Escalera is trying to go back in to prolong the fight when it doesn't really seem like his team is ready to follow him up. He doesn't need to be dying later on, but it's still fine because at this point, he's not worth too much, so he can really just jump at EVOS.
He is getting shredded by Erlan too. Okay, the quicksand guard is sort of like the insurance policy, although they will find a flicker kick from Izanami, and Ivan still survives. That is the worst case scenario. They find Albert though, he goes into the shadow kill in time. Double kill for the Hayabusa. A massive disaster in the bot lane for HOMEBOIS.
Yeah, if you've ever heard of Murphy's Law, that's exactly what happened for the HOMEBOIS there. Everything that could go wrong will go wrong. Izanami flicker kicking Ivan is huge. Like, these are the things that make us fan of Izanami for a long time here in MPL Malaysia, but they just didn't have the burst to finish off. He dashes away, Albert comes in, Raging Sandstorm misses, he's almost dead, but then Ogi Shadow kills and like finishes off 1 or 2 members. It was a disaster, just straight up. HOMEBOIS were the ones that started that off, but they didn't have ways of finishing, and EVOS are slowly building up a goal lead.
Committed so much and not even getting the roamer, who was essentially caught off guard, right? They invested with a flicker in that regard. EVOS Holy, they have just a 1.2, 1.3k goal advantage. It's not the biggest goal lead, at least not at this point. But it does feel bigger than that. Stolen Eternal Guard for Izanami. EVOS Holy now arriving at the Lord, and it does seem like thanks to this glue being around, this Lord Dance is going to be a bit comfortable for EVOS.
The playmaking potential that Ivan and Reggie provide to EVOS right now gives them a lot of freedom to decide the timings they want to enter, right? Albert doesn't need to initiate. He can decide when is the perfect window to go in with the OB Shadow Kill. So we can see that Erlan and oh god.
Escalera. Reggie's hands are completely missing. He just airballs it on the Little Wanderer. Albert finds the Mega Kill onto Izanami, and this fight has been concluded. Erlan goes to the killing spree, just guns all of
Soul!
Double kill for Erlan. Soul really needs to go huge at this point of time. Zaman forced Chrono Dash, but Erlan is just shooting him to the grave. Triple kill Maniac for the Granger and a wipeout for EVOS Holy.
Yeah, at this point, I'm sorry, homeboys. I think the game is just over. Erlan is 6-0. He's taking the Lord by himself. You just got team wiped when you tried to go for the backline dive. Like, at this stage, I don't really see homeboys clawing their way back into this. I think Soul is still trying to do, like, his job, and he's honestly doing a good job. He's the only one that's actually able to output any sort of DPS at this point, but that is far from enough. Even the Wishing Lantern now completed on deposit. EVOS, their goal lead might not be very, very big, but they are way ahead of homeboys in various other facets.
I can call it right now. All the clippers out there are going to, and even the SPS content team, we're gonna have a field day just clipping Escalera's Raging Sandstorm. I was looking at the concealed members of EVOS Holy, and I was like, that is a 4-man group clumped up, and our dear Habibi just airballs his ultimate point blank.
In reality, right, EVOS Holy is playing unfair because they have a 6th member on Natalia that Escalera is targeting the entire game.
Yeah, I think so too. I think even the Little Wanderer was like, why me? Like, what did I do? EVOS there.
Oh, the Lord pushing in?
The fight Escalera. That's half health. He does have immortality right now. So that is going to be a form of bailout in case anything goes awry. Considering everything that's happened, this is a 6k gold lead so far for EVOS Holy. One last empowered wave, which they will try to capitalize and try and get the structure. Conceal as well, Ivan. Potential kick underway. Able to find it onto Escalera, who gets knocked up. There's immortality blown as Albert just assassinates Izanami in the back line, and Erlan is godlike once more. This Granger, deathless so far, almost finds Soul. But they will get the inhibitor in the top side. Gojes just cannot hold on.
Homeboys just cannot compete at all. They are not able to pick off a single member of EVOS Holy. And Albert just gets to go in for free, picks off someone. Escalera is not able to do it. Oh, a nice knock up there.
A counter flicker from Gojes, but you're up against Erlan. He's 8-0 once more. Deja vu from game 1, Amao. Able to escape with the iframes now. So it's gonna get kicked away. Purifies, wants to save the game. Izanami back in time.
Oh, no minions!
But Erlan once more goes ballistic to take out Izanami. No minions for EVOS Holy, but still they will take the win any day. 8k gold lead at this point of time.
A very lucky break for the homeboys there, as EVOS' base siege lasted just long enough for them to respawn a second wave of players. And they were able to get rid of all the minion waves just at the edge of the Crystal's HP. So they will live to fight another day, but the question is for how long? An 8,000 gold deficit is one that's going to be hard to make up given the composition they have. At the very least, Soul does have Holy Crystal, so his damage will be respectable now. Wishing Lantern rushed out by Izanami since he realizes his team does have a damage problem. But I don't think that is enough to really deal with the problem right now, that is EVOS is able to take control of the fight so easily.
Yeah, and you can see that the efforts put in by homeboys, right? Even Gojes able to find some good counter engage timings, but he needs a team with him. It's just find a synergy. You see both Izanami and Escalera on the top bush. Big wave pushing in top as well. Soul joins them. How long can they draw this out though? That minion wave is not going to last very long. Escalera is going to be found out by Deposet. So Deposet is going to be the first target. Taken down by Izanami. That's a good start. As he flickers on top of Erlan with the Raging Sandstorm. Finally allowing Soul to go in. But still Erlan gets out with his life. But with Albert down, at least EVOS Holy cannot get the Lord.
Yeah, slightly over-aggressive positioning by EVOS Holy there. They were stacked up quite a bit, so Homeboys got a lot of AoE DPS in, but they're still trying to push it.
And Ivan will be terrified as Salmon force out. Ivan loses the immortality, comes back to life, not able to escape, so Erlan won't be able to escort him out. And finally, a team fight in favor of Homeboys. Escalera finding the exact crowd control that they've been yearning for almost 15 minutes. Lord should be secured by them unless Erlan pulls out the snipe of a lifetime, but EVOS Holy will play it safe. Homeboys get the Lord.
EVOS Holy losing the team fight was a miscalculation. Ivan dying afterwards was just straight up a mistake. I don't really know why they tried to chase Homeboys at that point, knowing that Zaman Force's cooldown is going to be pretty low by now. But Homeboys have a Lord. They can actually start getting some structures here. They have halved the network advantage just like that. Izanami now has Blood Wings and actually has hit a point where Valentina can contribute solid damage. Divine Glaive for Soul. Even the Winter Crown on Amal so that he's able to participate a little bit more aggressively. I think Homeboys can actually get a good number of towers with this one.
No, 100%. Even, you know, the macro decisions, right? The wraparound from Homeboys, like EVOS Holy, they don't really have the best members to open the map. I mean, you have Ivan and Reggie, but not in the face of someone like Goges and Escalera. You can see how fast they shut down Ivan and getting gone on by Goges. But for EVOS Holy, it's about kind of stalling out the wave, staggering them as much as possible. That mid wave is once more cleared out, but they still need to deal with empowered mid waves bot side, and of course a full entourage and the Lord on the top.
Lord up top lane, Soul's gonna be there. Tier 2 definitely will explode like very quickly. EVOS has been doing a very good job of clearing up the mid wave as well though, so they still have their tier 1 standing up there.
Reggie used the split very early to get terrified. Reggie needs the flicker to safety. Lord doesn't take care of Amal. Oh, primes the stun almost. Gets Albert. Erlan dashes forward with the Rondo. Able to force back the rest of Homeboy. So finally, they stop the siege. Mid tier 1 goes down. EVOS Holy. How are they going to approach this? Albert once more looking for an target. Let's go into the shadow kill, forcing out the Winter Crown. Amal isolated. Eternal God does miss. Ivan finds the team and Jikundo into a kickback. Escalera able to escape with his life as EVOS Holy now gonna chase for more. Izanami assassinated by Albert. Ivan looking for Goges. Goges flickers, but Reggie has a split on him. They can stick him back, pulls him back into the rest of EVOS Holy. Goges isolated and taken down. Erlan, legendary.
Great engagement from EVOS, punishing Homeboys for just overstaying their welcome. At that point, with the Lord gone, they had already gotten a lot of towers. Homeboys needs to know that they don't actually have that good of a map positioning, and I think Escalera might be dead too, as EVOS continues chasing them down. It is now a 2v5. Izanami will be up in 10 seconds, but even then, the numbers advantage leans towards EVOS. They have their eyes on the crystal.
So he's going to show himself. Can he at least take down one? He's going to be terrified. So the answer is no. Izanami back to life. Amal will have to retreat the heal back up, but there's a big wave. EVOS Holy, they were just going to target down the crystal. Focus fire it. Deposit does fall to Amal, but so does Amal, falling to Erlan. He is 12-0, and no amount of hold would do EVOS Holy 2-0 over Homeboys.
Homeboys still missing something fun.